Hello and welcome to today's reading. Today is a special day, first off, because this is my first time recording a tarot video with my face in it, so that's a fun little action that was suggested to me by a few of my loved ones, so I thought we would try it out and see how the visuals of the cards go. It's also a special day because tomorrow is a new moon in Taurus, so the new moon energy is very potent right now. We are planting seeds, really considering what it is that we want to accomplish in this coming year or the coming months, even in life, depending on where you are at in life. So today's reading, we will be looking at which archetype would be best for you to embody at this time and the energy surrounding it, how to unblock your potential right now and set yourself up for a beautiful next few months. So whichever shell or card first caught your eye, that is your reading. I have the timestamps in the description, so this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Let's get started. All right, awesome. So starting with group 1, let's look at which archetype is coming up for you. What is the best possible energy for you to be embodying right now? We have the poet. It says it is about expressing soul insights in symbolic language. So in some way or another, this will look different for everybody. You'll be using your voice or your power of language in order to express the deeper truths of your soul, of the universe, of your emotions or your experience. And it will be in a very beautiful way. So this could be very traditional, like you are actually into poetry and actively writing poems. It could be expressing yourself through music. It could also be expressing yourself even through tarot. Maybe you are also a diviner or interested in divination, and you'll be strengthening your ability to communicate. You might also be somebody who in the past has maybe struggled to express yourself logically, even in mundane day-to-day interactions, and you're learning this new method of expression where you can express yourself in a clear and concise way while still allowing it to have that very Venusian beauty, which Taurus is ruled by Venus, so we are having a very Venusian new moon. This reminds me of, I know I've mentioned him before, but one of my favorite people to listen to on YouTube, his name is Achyuta Bhavadas. He is an astrologer, a bhakti yogi, a monk, and he gives these sermons from the stars that are basically looking at the transits happening in the sky and then linking it with, various philosophies, ideas, archetypes. Check him out. I can link the video that I'm mentioning here, but Venus and Mercury are coming conjunct, and Mercury is about expression, logic, and Venus is all about beauty and love and harmony. So normally the two planets don't intertwine well, but he was sort of talking about the importance of if we have something valuable to say, we might as well say it in a beautiful way, or else it sort of loses its luster. There's more power behind it when there's a certain poetry linked to it rather than just spewing facts, so that is what you will be embodying at this time. In the next few months, you might be finding new ways to communicate, and we'll find a lot of growth and insight through writing it down and recording whatever is coming through you right now. Okay, what energy are you working with? This is the second house. So the second house, it says your beliefs, what you value, your resources, having patience, getting what you want, and getting what you need. So you might even be interested in doing this as a career. So again, it could be about divination and, you know, furthering your career in that. It could be writing a poetry book. It could be just writing a book even. It could be singing, making money through singing. Whatever this is, it will be contributing to your financial gain, and it does feel like it's a part of your career path. So if you've been interested in doing something with your words for a while, melding beauty with language, and you're not doing it, then you're being called to embrace that side of yourself now. It's a very potent time to be doing that, and to be growing that skill. And yeah, let's dig more into it. So, okay, so this is from my friend Ashton's oracle deck that she just created this year, actually, with actually paintings from the last 15 years. It's called the Artist Block Oracle. It talks about how to unblock yourself, the artist block. So the card that you have is Karma. It says, this reality acts as a two-way mirror reflecting back all conscious and subconscious beliefs, intentions, and desires. Karma will make sure you reap what you've sown, for like attracts like. Yeah, so maybe you can do even a little bit of journaling and just writing down, like, what is it you're experiencing? How do you feel like you've been behaving in the last, like, I keep feeling just like the last like 5 or 6 months even. Have you treated others well? Have you stood up for yourself? Have you been kind? And just sort of taking stock in these things. And it feels like you do have good karma if it's what's unblocking you and helping you here. It feels like maybe you've given money away to people, you've maybe been helping out different, you know, artists or people who have been struggling with money. You may have been very loose in giving, because as you give, you also receive. So this could be good karma coming back for you for your actions. You could also be speaking about or writing about reality and mirrors. I'm just drawn to that first sentence. This reality acts as a two-way mirror, reflecting back all conscious and subconscious beliefs, intentions, and desires. So you might even be reflecting on that, on mirrors and our interaction with the universe and with one another. But I do feel that any pursuit that you do will be fruitful, because you have this karma card with the second house. So it's like, because you've supported others, you will also be supported. To gain a little bit more info here, I pulled a few cards from the Skeletal Tarot that I created last year. I'll have the link in the description if you like the images. The cards that you got are the King of Swords, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Four of Swords. So this is really beautiful. This could mean a few things. The main story that I'm getting here is that by you embodying these archetypes, so this being your divine feminine and this being your divine feminine and this your divine masculine, this will help you with your inspiration for writing and expressing yourself. It'll also help you express yourself a lot more clearly. So what I get from these two cards is, with the Queen of Pentacles, I have her pictured walking in nature, and it reminds me of the transcendentalists who if you ever heard of the Wanderer Society, there's a sweet little book on it with different like walking meditations. But the Wanderer Society basically talks about how so many of the great transcendentalists, artists and poets, authors would gain inspiration by walking without direction. Most of the time in nature, but some of them through cities as well. I feel like especially like European cities would be really beautiful places to gain inspiration because they're so old. But just walking in order to help yourself leave mundane day-to-day things behind and walk into the unknown. And you can set the intention that you will be inspired through something that you see or experience. You can expect to experience signs as well. Maybe you'll see like a bird or an animal or something, and just pay attention to that animal and what it might mean for you, what it might be saying. And that is what will help you with your poetry, whether it is like literally writing poetry, writing down ideas, or voicing things that maybe you've struggled to voice before. It'll help you download almost the symbolic language needed in order to express what you need to express. You might also be reading a lot because the King of Swords does have a lot of books there. And we also have the Four of Swords here, which is about resting. So you also might be reading poetry that might help inspire you, or reading different books that'll also help you grow your vocabulary so that your poetry will be even more eloquent and fluid and descriptive. The Queen of Pentacles also can talk about the home. So perhaps take a little extra time to just make sure that your space is nice and tidy and warm and welcoming, and also encouraging of inspiration and creativity, because where you work is very, very important. If you don't feel like you have a safe space to create or write, do it in nature. Find a quiet little tree to sit under and just do it there. But this definitely feels like a period of time where you can just rest and allow yourself to engage in the activities that you really enjoy, which to me it feels like it's writing, and it's like you're making an effort without efforting because you love it, and that's what will bring you the success, because you are entering the present moment through, you know, going in nature and engaging in something that you love, and you'll be feeling positive emotions about it because of like being able to express yourself in a way that is meaningful to you. So that's really beautiful. I really like that. Is there anything else I see here? I think that's it. We'll move on to your final cards here. So a message for you is perfect timing. So this is from, I think it's called the Angel Oracle of Angels, maybe. That now is the time to do it. Now is the time to pursue that dream and to have the faith that your efforts will pay off. I know that Jupiter didn't show, or Pisces didn't show up in this reading, but Achutavavadas that I mentioned before also did a talk about Jupiter transitioning into Pisces for the next month or so before going retrograde for the rest of the year until next year, when it'll be in Pisces all year. So starting this month, it's like very fertile ground to be starting a project like this, or embarking on this career path finally, or fine-tuning these skills. It's very fertile ground for that, to sort of set the stage for next year, when it'll probably be blossoming even more. Perfect timing. And then your final card, this is really beautiful. It says your desire is within reach. Have faith as everything is working in your favor. Yeah. So if you have experienced any setbacks or something, maybe you're finding yourself unemployed or just having a lot of free time, just know that you are taken care of, and that this goal that you're reaching for, especially like I do feel like it's using your words or your language in pursuit of a career, it will come through and it will happen. You just have to take action on it. And it's not like the Martian action, like I just need to work and work and do it all day. It's like, no, this is like leisurely. Like, let yourself enjoy the fine things. Let yourself go be in nature and get grounded and enter that creative space. And that's enough right now. Just make sure that you're doing those things that are encouraging of inspiration and joy and creativity and taking action on that. So this is overall very beautiful. Let me know if this resonated with you in the comments. I'd love to hear what it is that you're working on, because it seems very beautiful. Like, you know, you've done what you needed to do, and now doors are opening up for you, and you know, your guides just want you to do what brings you joy, because that's really what matters. So thank you so much for watching. Happy new moon, and I'll see you next time. Alright, group 2, so let's dig into your reading. What archetype would be best for you to embody at this time? We have the Destroyer. So it says the Destroyer is about releasing what is potentially destructive and preparing for new life. So you are still in a phase of release where anything that's been sort of nagging at your psyche, like, oh, I should quit this, oh, I should quit this, oh, I should drop this, oh, I should let this go, oh, this just isn't, you know, when you feel like you're like efforting to stay in something, or that, you know, you're feeling your body being negatively impacted by something, or your emotions being negatively impacted by something, this is just a clear message for you that it is okay and safe to release whatever this is, and that in releasing whatever it is that came to mind, you will actually have much greater fortune and joy and prosperity in your life. So let's pull out the rest of your cards and see what other influences you've got going on. A lot of cards fell out for you, so you might have a lot going on. To start out with some karma cards, we have Saturn and Sagittarius. It actually says Saturn in Sagittarius, so that's interesting. There's a really special way to read these cards. I don't always read them that way in this reading. I just use them as to kind of gauge what energies you've got going on. But they form sentences when you have the house, the planet, and the sign all together. I'm just going to read what the sign and the planet have together. So it says, be realistic about your highest ideals. Be concerned about the rules. You must wait before you can get out to the world. The maturity that brings insights to understand. Caution regarding wisdom. Limits imposed resulting from understanding. So it's interesting because these two energies are quite different. Saturn is all about restriction and rules, and Saturn is very much about expansion and liberation. That's how I see it. When I think of Sagittarius, I think about the nomads, the travelers, even the philosophers, the free spirits, even the partiers a little bit. And when I think of Saturn, it's more like rules, government, even parents, imposing forces which impose rules upon you, even the rules which you impose upon yourself, or conditions which constrict your freedom. So with the Destroyer card, in regards to Saturn and Sagittarius, I feel like what you're letting go of is that which has been restricting your freedom. And restriction isn't always bad, you know, like I think it's tapas, austerity is like constriction which allows you to expand, right? When you take out certain foods out of your diet, when you take out certain, I don't know, chemicals, like you quit smoking cigarettes or something, and suddenly your health becomes greater and your vitality becomes greater. So there's something about removing something, and in that removal, gaining more freedom, gaining more understanding even. You might be releasing something that has been fogging your ability to think clearly, to perceive. It could even be like overeating can, you know, fog your mind and make you unable to function in your optimal state. So this is all going together quite well. I'm curious to see what other cards you have. So I'm gonna actually put these up here. Okay, so how can you unblock yourself? This is from my friend Ashton's oracle deck called the Artist Block, all about how to remove blocks. It says receiving. Are you open to receiving support? If not, why? Let in the financial resources you desire. Pull another card to see possible blocks or needs. Interesting. So we do have more cards that we'll look at as well. I'm drawn to the first sentence where it says, are you open to receiving support? So you might be thinking about like releasing some form of addiction, or starting to take the steps needed to release that addiction. And so just consider, like, are you willing to go to like meetings? Are you willing to have a therapist maybe? Are you willing to welcome in friends and family and various support systems that can help you through this? Because I do feel like it's there. It's just, are you willing and open to receiving? With Saturn, you might be someone who actually has like restricted how much time you spend with people, and it's the polar opposite of Sagittarius, because I guess there's two sides of Sagittarius that I see. One part of Sagittarius is somebody who is very social, life of the party, you know, really fun, adventurous, and the other part is somebody who is very philosophical and spends a lot of time alone pondering things. So that might be another part of yourself that you're being drawn to examine and strive to understand. I also feel like the next sentence says, let in the financial resources you desire. So I feel like in releasing this, you will gain more abundance, whatever this is for you. It might be literally just draining your wallet to be buying it. So my mind keeps going to like toxic, like alcohol and drugs, because it's expensive, it's short-lived, and it drains your bank account, to be blunt. So in releasing that, you'll be saving money because you won't be buying it anymore, and there will also be more karmic space within your field for receiving more once you've released whatever this is that is like a weight on your life. Look how beautiful that picture is. She's so talented. Okay, so let's get more information about this. So we have the 9 of Wands reversed. So it's like you haven't been taking the leap. In my version, it's like that story of like somebody is being put between a rock and a cliff, and they basically need to jump and have faith, and there's like the voice in the sky that's like, jump, 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 and they're like afraid to, but they will be caught. So I feel like this might be talking about the support that you'll gain. Maybe you feel like you won't be able to do this on your own, and that's why you haven't done it yet, or you feel like you don't have the resources enough to like release whatever it is. Maybe it's even like codependency, like you're in a situation where you are codependent and you're afraid to leave it because you don't know if your needs will be met. So just know that they will, if you're open to having that support and if you're willing to take that leap. The jump written in the clouds. Next you have the Ace of Wands. And I'm actually just going to put all these out on the table so we can see them better, but I'll show you the Ace of Wands, the Ten of Wands reversed, nice, the Lovers, nice, and the Judgment card. So I think these actually came out in the opposite order when I pulled them. So I'm going to flip them around because it felt like a clearer story to me. All right, so I'm going to tell you what each of these cards mean, and then we will get a more well-rounded story for it. So the Judgment card talks about reward. Talks about being rewarded for your efforts, karma. Whatever you put out, you get back. Then we have the Lovers. The Lovers can talk about an actual relationship, or it can talk about a decision that needs to be made. The Ten of Wands signifies a burden, to put it simply. Something that's really heavy that you've been carrying. And then the Ace of Wands talks about creative power, enthusiasm, passion, creative spark. So I feel like, I guess starting with this Judgment card, there's like this gift coming out of the sky just being handed to this person, but it's in reverse. So I feel like that goes along with this receiving card, where it's like maybe you haven't been open to receiving, or maybe you haven't been able to see clearly the assistance that has been offering itself to you. With the Lovers, I do feel like this is about making a choice. For those of you that resonated though with the codependent thing, then take it as you will. But it does feel like a decision, and the decision is to put down the burden, which is what we've been talking about this whole time, releasing that really heavy thing. Because once you do, you will feel creatively inspired, you will feel enthusiastic, excited about life again, because whatever it is you've been carrying, it's no longer yours to carry, and it's been just like a heavy load for too long, for far too long. Let's pull the rest of these cards out. Your message from the angels says a year from now. So I feel like this is calling you to ask yourself where you would like to be a year from now. And then asking yourself, what do you need to do to get there? It could also be saying that that which you dream of will come to you once you've done a year of releasing whatever this is. Again, I just keep being pulled to like sobriety for a lot of this. That a year from now, if you can follow through on this, then you will have a lot of blessings coming in that wouldn't be available if you kept holding this burden. Yeah, and so I'm being drawn to the color that's kind of pinkish violet in these two cards. And I feel like it's like if you just take that leap, you will be able to fly. You know, look at the lamp. The lamp is yellow like the wand, and the smoke coming out of it is pink like the wings. So it's almost like if you can follow through with this, then you will be able to create magic like a genie, harnessing your life energy. If you look at the top of the lamp, it almost looks like a little ankh. I don't know if you can see that. And that's exactly what the Ace of Wands is talking about too. So it's like, once you release this, you'll have so much more access to a greater store of energy. You'll be so glad that you did it. If you are somebody who resonated with the codependent message of releasing a codependent relationship or codependent tendencies, I'm also seeing like an intertwine of these two cards together, where there's like the one person that's like wanting to help was my intention with that 10 of Wands, and there's the sun with them, and then there's the sun behind the two lovers. And so it might be that it'll be very difficult to actually release this because there is so much love. But I think it's necessary because it was probably karmic with that bag of 10 wands there that's really heavy. It's like karmic. And so there's a lot of emotion, but just because there's a lot of emotion doesn't mean that it's the best for you or for them. If it's not the best for you, it's not the best for them either. Okay, so we're gonna look at the rest of your cards. This was your final message. You got a lot of cards from this deck, the fairy deck. So the first one that started was affirmations. To lift up your thoughts and energy and to attract what you desire, use positive affirmations. So it's a good place to start. Walk away, leave the unhealthy situation, and enjoy the new doors that open as a result. Oh gosh, what have I been saying? There's no way to get past that. And again, you know what that is for you. This whole reading has just been one big affirmation of like, whatever's been keeping you in a box, like let it go so you can grow. You know, I see like the plateau of like, it worked, and then there's like this plateau, and it's like, how long do you want to stay on that plateau, you know, before you choose to move again, to climb again. We have ask for what you want. Let the universe and other people know what you need. Yeah, and then be open to receiving it with that receiving card that you have. Because your wish is granted. What you've asked for is coming true. And finally, you've got the power. Use your abilities to resolve the situation. You can do it. Beautiful. Yeah, so the universe and your angels, your guides, whatever it is you believe in, is cheering you on, is on your side, is in support of this release, of walking away. Make sure with the affirmations and ask what you want, that you're focusing on the highest possible outcome for yourself and not getting tripped up on everything that could go wrong, because whatever you focus on is like the wish that will be granted. You're a very powerful manifester, and once you release this again, you'll have even greater manifestation powers, creative powers. So affirm what it is you want, write it down, say it out loud as if you already have it, and trust that you can do this, you can release this, you can have exactly what it is in life that you desire. And trust that a year from now, if you can follow through, your life is going to look a lot different, and you will be having healed, and you will be actively creating your life once you've healed. And it might take a full year for you to fully transition from where you are now to this new life, when you can fully and comfortably say that that part of your life is over. And that's okay, because it does feel like there is a lot of karma intertwined with where you are at right now. So that's okay. This is just sort of a go-ahead from the universe, from spirit, God, whatever you believe in, that it's safe to move on and to choose the path that is more free, more expansive, and more enjoyable. So thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed your reading, and I wish you the best of luck as you go through this releasing and receiving process, and I hope to see you next time. Hello group 3, and welcome to your reading. Let's dive in and look at what archetype it is that would be best for you to embody during this time. You got Angel. It says helping those in need with no expectation of return. That is beautiful. Yeah, so you are somebody who I would call you a white magician. You are in this incarnation to serve the greatest good, whatever that looks like in your life. And it's not because you want anything out of it, it's because you see a vision of what could be for this world and for humanity, and you have turned over your free will to the divine in order to serve this greatest good, in order to be a vessel of the divine here on earth, to help others, to uplift them, to inspire them. So let's look at the other cards that are interacting with this for you. Again, I'm reading for lots of people, so it might look different depending who's watching. We got the 12th house. The 12th house is related to Aquarius. It says seeking oneness with all there is, philanthropy, keeping your involvement hidden, your faith, hidden tendencies, large institutions, or overwhelming events. Yeah, so I feel like you're somebody who is very charitable. I think of one of my friends reading this who started her own nonprofit after working for a larger organization to take care of the needs of the homeless population who are struggling. So I think of her when I see this. It's like you help, but you're not somebody who's like taking a picture of yourself helping and being like, look at all the good I'm doing. It's like you're doing the good because you care, because it moves you, because you see the humanity and you see the Christ in everybody, regardless of what they look like or how they behave even. So, and in doing this, you become closer with God, with spirit, whatever you relate to in terms of that eternal, beneficent energy. Your faith is a guiding force of what you're doing. Your drive to follow through on whatever religion or spirituality you connect with. You're inspired by the scriptures. I think of the Bible because I've met a lot of Catholic or Christian people in the last year who are very charitable. That's a big part of what the Bible talks about is treating everyone as if they are what Ramdas would say is God and drag, and serving them selflessly without any expectation. You might be working for a larger institution, like I think Catholic Charities, just because I'm also employed under Catholic Charities for the work that we do at Place of Grace. But also like environmental institutions. Sierra Club is one. Institutions that work for justice. There are a few that have grown in popularity with the BLM movement that help, get innocent people out of jail, that help bring attention to amendments that need to happen with like the 13th Amendment. So that's the kind of work that you're involved in. You might be an activist or somebody that works for charity, or even just someone who goes out of their way every day to do something kind for others. Philanthropy, you might donate money to people, and it's all because you feel that connection with something higher, and so of course you want to help because you can see that something higher in everything. And so this sort of work brings you closer to that energy. So we're gonna look at a couple oracle cards from my friend Ashton's deck that she made. It's called the Artist Block Oracle. It's really beautiful. It's like 15 years of artwork put into a deck. It talks about how to unblock yourself, how to remove any artist blocks. And the two cards you have to help you further embody this energy are Promote, exhaust all ways in which to promote yourself, new social sites, posters, hosting an event, creating prints, starting a blog, and asking others for their input. So I go back to thinking of my friend who started the nonprofit, and if that's the sort of work that you're doing, then you do sort of need to promote yourself. Even though it says keep your involvement hidden, it's like in doing this you can raise more money and keep the funds that you need to do the work that you would like to do. It feels like it'll be effortless because you have the support of God, spirit, angels, because you're helping people. So if you are an activist, this could also be nudging you to post on social media about what it is you're doing, even though again this said keep your involvement hidden. That's just a part of it. So again, this different meanings for different people. It could be reminding you to stay humble with that one. But yeah, if you're part of like a sort of activist group, inform people, because a lot of times people don't get involved because they don't know how or because they're unaware of the problems that exist. So that'll be part of what will help you with this service is promoting yourself, informing people about it, telling people about it, and just putting it out there so that people know. And then you have honesty. Pure honesty clears your mind of any guilt, freeing up space for creative thought. Remember, to some your word is your bond, so keep promises. So I think of, I just keep thinking of my friend because a lot of this is intertwined with her work. And if you are somebody who is like Catholic, this card makes me think of, what's that word? Not repentance, but this is embarrassing being that I live and work at a Catholic worker house. Confession. There we go. Thank you. Confession. So this might be going to confession and releasing anything that you might be feeling guilty about, just to clear up space in your energy so you can feel okay and release any negative emotions. This could be being honest with yourself about what's working, what's not working, honest with other people, just because if you're embodying this energy, this angel energy, and you are connected with the divine and devoted to God, it is extremely important to be honest, because if someone catches you in a lie, then it zaps away all your credibility. You know, that could be the fall, is through dishonesty. So make sure that you're being honest, and that will also help unblock, you know, and that also is sort of a vulnerable thing, to be honest. And so this could also look like, you know, maybe there's somebody who's interested in investing in your nonprofit, and you're not aware of that, and you're having a conversation with them, and you're just being totally real and honest about your life, about why it is you're doing what you're doing, about what drives you to this work, what motivates you. And it's that honesty and that vulnerability that will really bring people in. Also with the promote part too, those two go really hand in hand. Even on social media, just being very honest about what's happening, about your needs, about you know, what you could use, what could help you. And that honesty is like clear communication with God and the universe. And so it'll just help clear the path even more for you. A couple cards in relation to this from the Skeletal Tarot that I painted last year. If you like it, I'll have the link in the description for the deck. So you have the Page of Pentacles and the Seven of Pentacles reversed. So this is interesting. Ooh, I love that. So the Page of Pentacles, pages are like a youthful, young energy. Pentacles are an earthly energy. So when I see Page of Pentacles, I think about a new physical, tangible project that is sort of just getting started. And the Seven of Pentacles is also about planting seeds of things that you would like to see manifest and tending to them. And because it's in reverse, I'm looking at the imagery very specifically here, and what I think of is the roots in the sky, like the upside down tree of life. Meaning that these ideas are not coming from you, they're coming from something higher because of the energy that you're working with. You're somebody that is not driven by your ego identification. You're somebody who is so driven by this higher spirit that everything that you're seeing bloom, all of the fruits that you're reaping, it's coming from a higher place. It's coming from that thing that you have faith in. So that's really beautiful, and you're just like smelling the roses of it, like, yeah, wouldn't be wanting to do anything but this. This is where it's at, working with that higher source. Yeah, so it's still pretty fresh and new. It's still fresh and new though with the Page of Pentacles. Your next message is reconsider. So honestly, I don't really know what this might be talking about in relation to what we've already got out here. It might go hand in hand with the honesty card. If you're being honest with yourself, what might you be reconsidering? You might be asking somebody too to reconsider. If you were asking for funds, you might ask them to reconsider. You might be reconsidering the means. Interesting. I don't know. Hopefully you understand what that card is saying, because I don't know. So you have 2 more cards left. As your final message, you have winter. It says the answer to your prayers and affirmations are fully realized in the winter months. And then whom do you need to forgive? As you release old anger and resentment, you will find that your wishes will come true. Interesting. So this is talking about wishes coming true in the winter. And this is saying that you need to forgive in order to have those wishes come true. So a couple stories here. Something might have happened over this last winter that has created resentment in you, that might be holding you back a little bit from this energy. Maybe that's where this reconsider part is coming in. Like maybe your interactions with somebody who upset you, caused you to say something, make a certain decision, make a certain judgment, and you're being asked to reconsider whatever that judgment was, whatever that decision was. Also, just keep in mind who you might need to be forgiving, and trust that what you are working on now will come to fruition in the winter. It is fresh and new. I feel like it is already starting, but maybe it won't look exactly the way you want it to look, exactly the way you want it to be until winter. It also might have come to fruition already in the winter, and you are experiencing it now. Yeah. So my only message for you moving forward is to remember to forgive. Remember that not everyone's perfect. Not everyone's an angel. not everybody gets to be connected to that spirit as close as you are. And just thank you for what you're doing. Remember to just put it out there so that people are aware of it, because I feel like you have a lot of people who want to help you, but they just don't know how, or maybe they just don't know you exist yet, but once they do, they'll want to help out. So thank you so much for watching, and thank you for the work that you do, and I hope to see you next time. Hello, group 3, and welcome to your reading. Let's take a look at which archetype you are being called to embody at this time. We have the healer. Passion to serve others by repairing the body, mind, and spirit. Ability to help transform pain into healing. Beautiful. Yeah, so you might be learning new abilities to heal or tapping even deeper into your own healing abilities. You might be a Reiki healer, a massage therapist, a doctor, a chiropractor, a regular like counseling therapist, even a yoga teacher, hypnosis, quantum healing hypnosis, therapy healer. You've been called to tap into that energy even more at this time, and to put most of your focus there. So let's look at your other influences that we've got. You got quite a stack here. I'll try not to ramble too much so we can get through it. So your planetary influence is Uranus. So Uranus rules Aquarius. It is very unusual, very new age, future-oriented, energetic, magical even to a point, but like scientific magical, a little bit. Science, ingenuity, new ideas, things that have never been done before. So this really feels like it has to do with energy healing with Uranus, because like massage is a lot more 3D, you know, being a doctor or chiropractor, that's a lot more 3D, whereas Uranus is very like 5D, 6D, 7D, like expansive on the energetic level. Uranus also makes me think of the outsider archetype that has a skill of melding multiple things together. So something that I feel like would be really fun to do in life is like melding yoga with guided meditations, with hypnosis, with divination, you know, so you might be melding multiple practices together in order to form a more full-rounded approach. My partner is a really good example of this too. He has melded, or is in the process of melding, traditional counseling with Ayurveda, with yoga, with the intention of helping people who are recovering from addiction through counseling and Eastern medicine. So let's look at more of the cards that you've got going on here. From my friend's oracle, Ashton. My friend Ashton made this. It's the Artist Block Oracle. It's like 15 years worth of art compiled together. So let's look at what you've got here. Your first card is Inspiration. Reignite a fiery passion through finding a new inspiration to fuel it. Pull another card for more information. So we do have more cards here we'll look at. Pivot. Pivot by stopping in your tracks during emotional upsets, then choosing to focus on another topic. This gives you time to think, recover, and not spike anger. Watch a funny movie, enjoy your favorite drink, and read to help you begin to navigate. Yeah, okay. Let's keep reading. Self-destruction. Destructive tendencies hinder your progress. Sometimes finishing the task at hand seems too large or intimidating. Learn healthy coping mechanisms. Okay. I'll read the last one before we talk about these a little bit. We have supportive people. Create or find a like-minded support group. Support from others is vital to your career now. So I also think of my partner with these cards because he just pulled his Achilles tendon, and you know, he is needing to redirect his thoughts to focus more on the energetic healing that can take place when we shift our mindset rather than dwelling on everything that's being lost through injury. So that might be another message for you, to pay attention to your thoughts around healing, what healing looks like, because this does feel very much like... So if you guys have heard of Dr. Joe Dispenza, he wrote a book called Becoming Supernatural that talks about how we can use the power of the mind to rewire our DNA and heal ourselves from an energetic place. So he tells so many stories from different clients and people who have used these exercises about, you know, them having terminal cancer or something, being on their deathbed, being told they have a few weeks or months to live. And while they're there, they decide to meditate and to bring their focus to whatever area needs healing and to visualize it healing, to visualize tumors breaking down and healing, to visualize scar tissue healing, to visualize injuries healing, and DNA rebuilding and light flooding these areas. So I feel like this is the main message for this reading, is that that this healing is mental, not mental in like you have to think a lot about it, but mental in that you're using the power of your mind to heal, the power of your visualization and your imagination to heal. Reiki definitely uses actual like, call them like the nadis or the subtle energies of the body to heal, but a lot of it is like using the power of your mind to visualize it, to see it clearly. I mentioned this in, oh my gosh, excuse me. I mentioned this in the last video that I posted about what it means to be loving, to be living in the spirit of love. Please watch that if you haven't. I did mention that I would do a guided meditation for the way that I heal. So I will do that in the next few days. But I'll tell you a little bit about what that looks like since this is up for discussion right now. So when I do this kind of work, this Uranus healing, New Age healing, what I do is I do a yoga flow, and then when I go into Shavasana, I bring white light in through the crown of my head to flood my whole body. And I do it differently. Sometimes I'll inhale to bring it in and exhale to create a field of energy around me. Sometimes I'll do an energy opening visualization and then flow the energy through my body, around my body, through my aura, and then intentionally send it to other people. So I will usually envision them having a shower of white light, not even white, but just like the brightest, most beautiful, etheric, glittering light that you can imagine, flooding down through their head and covering their whole body, washing away any illness. And if I'm aware of certain like ailments that they have, I'll call in Archangel Raphael, ask Raphael to help me in healing this. And usually I'll just honestly let the visualization take over and do whatever it needs to do. So like with my partner, we were like pulling his Achilles tendon like this and healing it and melding the tear, melding the parts together and then covering it with light. Usually it just comes through what the person needs, you know. When people have needed like inner child healing, there have been a few times where it was actually with, there have been a few people that I've had this experience of going and almost taking like a pickaxe to their chest to break open the shell that has covered their heart and allowing their inner child to come out and There's a really beautiful one with someone I love so much where I saw their inner child come out and give them a hug, and they started crying, and it was so beautiful. And the inner child just told them that they love them so much, and then went back inside. And so just let the visualizations take over. Maybe experiment with this if you aren't already. Some of you might already be skilled energy healers that already actively are doing this. If not, have a little fun with it, try it out, get yourself into a relaxed state, and intend the greatest good, and just try. Look out for the video when I do post it so you can follow my guided meditation. That would be really cool too. So if this is about yourself, pivot from those self-destructive thoughts of I'm never gonna get better, I'm sick, I'm ill, I'm broken, like I'm fucked, you know. Try to do whatever you can to get out of that. So read a book that's really positive and maybe spiritual and uplifting or magical so you can tap into that magical mindset. Watch TV shows or movies that can help you feel magical or joyful. Go for a walk if you can, or just go lay out in the sunlight, pet an animal. Do whatever you can to redirect those thoughts before they take over, because those thoughts are really powerful. The way that you feel about your healing matters. I once had a chiropractor tell me that this injury that I had could never be healed, and that I was foolish to think it ever could. And for me, you know, there's like red flags, trigger signs coming on of like, whoa, no, you know, and it's still in the process of healing, but it's been going great. So your mindset around healing really matters. Trust that you have people around you who want to support you. So if you have a career as a healer, you have people that are actively bringing in clients for you. If you are injured, know that you have people around who are here to help you through this, here to help you with your day-to-day or with your work, whatever that is. And maybe you're being called to do this energy work, not as a career, not as yourself, but or not for yourself, but just as someone who is supportive and being inspired by that energy of being able to, you know, with the pivot card and the self-destruction card, I almost think of a relationship that's been injured, and instead of allowing it to continue on this destructive, negative path, pivoting and doing that sort of healing work for that person, because you do love them even if you're upset with them, and being supportive in that way would be really healing for you and them. So I am rambling. Let's move on to the rest of your cards. So this is from the Skeletal Tarot. This is the deck that I created last year. I'll have the link in the description if you'd like it, if you want to purchase it and use it for yourself. I'm always open to answering any questions, giving feedback about your spreads, so just putting it out there. The cards that you have are the Six of Wands, the Four of Wands, Seven of Cups, the Magician, and the Ace of Swords reversed. So a couple things I see here. The first one, I just feel like my partner's gonna watch this, because when he tore his Achilles, he was playing basketball and he had just won a game, which talks about victory and winning, and then he tore his Achilles tendon, which, you know, it created this instability, made him not celebrate anymore. So that's funny. Just one story out there if you're watching this, honey. You have reason to celebrate, though. Your healing, you're very good at it. If this is the reading that you chose, you're very gifted as a healer, and you will be recognized for it. People will see your abilities, and you know, you'll be given praise, you'll be given money, you'll be given gifts, whatever it is, for the work that you do. I'm gonna come back to this one because I'm not sure why that's there. Over here though, we have the Seven of Cups, the Magician, and the Ace of Wands. So there's a couple of ways that we can take this. The Seven of Cups talks about having a lot of options and also the overwhelm that can come with having all of these options, not sure which one to pick. Maybe even feeling a little bit foggy in your mind because there's just a lot going on. So there's a need to meditate. I think that that's what this is talking about, because my version of the Four of Wands is somebody meditating on their desires and growing the seed. So I feel like you're just not meditating on exactly what you want. You're not getting clear enough. You don't have that one pointedness about what it is that you want, maybe because there's so much that you just haven't gone into meditations like that. So if you are healing, then this is the need to meditate on that one point that needs to be healed. If you're in a place of wanting some sort of change but not knowing what it is because there's so much to choose from, meditate on an emotion. Meditate on an emotion and really feel into that emotion. So it could be that you want to experience more freedom. It could be that you want to experience community. It could be that you want to experience love. So there's nothing here about emotion, but I guess when I'm at a loss for not knowing what I want, I just focus on the emotion behind it. So that could be a message for you. You are somebody who is great at manifesting. You have the Magician right there. So you are magic. You might have rituals that you do or spells that you do to help you manifest, but you're not clear. That's what that Ace of Swords is saying. Ace of Swords upright is like clarity, mental breakthrough, and you're feeling stuck though mentally. You don't know what you want to manifest. Yeah. You're being unclear with your manifestations. I'm gonna look at the rest of these cards. So I kind of just cut off that train of thought. You're being unclear with what you want to manifest. So we have no need to worry. So don't worry about it. Don't worry about the injury if you're injured. Don't worry if you have a loved one who's injured. Send them this healing energy. Put your focus there. Trust it's enough. If you're a healer and you're worried about money, don't worry about it. You'll be taken care of. If you're worried about your manifestations, not knowing what you want to manifest and not having clarity around that, don't worry. Like, you don't need to right now then. Focus on emotions. Focus on desirable emotions. Next you have recovery. So if you're in the process of healing, trust that you will recover. There's no doubt in your mind, because you also have yes here, like yes, you will recover. Don't worry. If this is regarding this clarity, don't worry, like your clarity will come back. Just focus on this healing energy. Focus on your meditations. Come back, because when you can focus on this meditation, that's when you'll be successful. When you can really go within, celebrate the little victories, celebrate the things in life that you've enjoyed thus far, the things in the last year that you've enjoyed thus far, and express gratitude for those things. And you might start to feel the emotions of those things, and you'll start to develop more clarity about what it is that you would enjoy to see come into your life now. If you're not recovering yourself, you are a huge part of recovery for other people also, as this healer. I think that's pretty obvious. And it could be, recovery in body, mind, or spirit, even emotionally, transforming pain into healing, helping people recover from all these various wounds in the different koshas. I think that's what you call it, the different subtle bodies that we have. You have one more message from the fairies. Goodbye to the old, hello to the new. You finished one part of your life, and now a new and even better part is beginning. Ooh, yeah. So I feel like this quantum healing is going to shift you energetically into a whole new place. If it's healing for yourself, then it's strengthening your faith in those practices because you're seeing and witnessing it firsthand, and your faith in that energy healing and how beliefs influence our healing process will be strengthened. If you are a healer with different modalities, you are entering a phase of your life that maybe you're leaving behind certain modalities that you're just kind of bored with, and maybe learning new ones. Maybe you're leaving behind the days of lack and moving into days of prosperity and not having to worry about it anymore. Maybe you're moving into this new, so with these cards of being unclear about what we want to manifest, maybe you need to say goodbye to some things before you can be clear on what you want, before you can beckon in that new thing. So that's just an additional message for you that if you don't know what you want, maybe look at what you don't want first. And that'll give you clarity once you can be like, I don't want this anymore. It's not serving me. I'm going to let that go. You know, maybe you're feeling unclear because there's too much there. There's too much there already. There's not room yet for anything new. Yeah. Cool. So that's all I've got to you. I hope this resonated with you. I guess I just noticed the card inspiration here. I didn't talk much about it, but that might help you too, deciding what you want. Just trying something new that you've never done before, that maybe you've always wanted to try. That'll help you decide what you want. So, thank you so much for watching, and thank you for healing, and I wish you the best of luck in this journey. Thank you, and I hope to see you next time. Alright, group 5, let's dig into your reading. So the archetypes, you're the only one that got 2, that you are being called to embody at this time are the eternal child, determination to remain young in body, mind, and spirit, and the ability to see things with fresh eyes. And the companion, loyal, tenacity, and unselfishness. Beautiful. Yeah, so you might be somebody who you're in a stage of your life, kind of like the maiden stage, where I like that there's like mirrored 2 people and 2 people. This might be a time of friendship for you. It feels really innocent, you know, like when children are playing, and it's not about what their friend has, it's not about any complicated emotions between the children. It's really simple, it's really easy, it's like a no-brainer, like, duh, of course I want to be friends with you, like, let's go play with frogs, you know? It's kind of random, but it just feels very sweet, very tender, innocent and playful, imaginative and adventurous. Very, loyal and true, it feels like, too. You know, children are probably the most authentic because they haven't been indoctrined to be a certain way, to do a certain thing, to have certain fears or values. They're very true to themselves and true to each other. So this feels like a growing of compassion and unconditional love. And it's not a heavy kind, it's just a light kind. Even the colors are just very light. It's all like yellow, and there's sunflowers and butterflies. It's very sweet. You may be allowing yourself to step back into the mindset of a child that is magical, that is energized, that is drawn into fantasy world, seeing things with fresh eyes, asking yourself, is there a more innocent perspective to this? Remembering that everybody has both light and shadow aspects. You can see even on these cards, I'm only reading the light aspects because I don't think people would be called necessarily to embody the dark aspects for the greatest good like I intended with this reading, but even the shadow aspects serve the greatest good in their own way. It's the Shiva in the Holy Hindu Trinity. The Shiva, even the Shiva that's the darkness, serves the greatest good. And so your perspective is sort of changing and shifting from maybe those who you would have condemned at one time. You're seeing the humanity in them. You're seeing why things happened the way that they did. And I feel like it's with your companion, which could be a friend, it could be a partner, it could be even a dog or a cat, a pet. And spending time with them, it will allow you to embody this energy even more, this childlike, innocent, selfless, joyful energy that is full of wonder and joy and the curiosity. It's really beautiful energy. I love it. So let's look at what other influences you've got going on. You have Venus. Ooh, I love this, especially with companion. Venus, ooh, it says cherish, enjoy, charm, art, beauty, pleasure, good times, attraction. Yeah, so Venus actually rules Taurus, which is the new moon that's happening, the energy that we're in as I'm recording this. Venus is all about harmony, love, beauty, relationships, creation. So this is very beautiful. I feel like the relationships that you have that are most important to you are going to be the cornerstone of this year. It's going to be at the forefront of your life and the most important part, and everything else will just kind of happen around it. But your main focus is on exploring and being curious within your relationships. I feel like it's a partner, but it could also be friendships or even exploring with your dog, you know, and just being curious like a child to see, like, where's my dog gonna walk? I'll just go wherever my dog wants to go. This is beautiful. So looking at my friend Ashton's deck that she created, it's called the Artist Block Oracle. What will help you release any blockages that you might be holding? It says protect your ideas. Protect your energy and ideas. Spend less time around those who drain you of stamina and joy. Be careful of signing contracts with work. Yeah, so with the part that says to be careful who you're spending time around, if like there's someone who brings down your energy, makes you feel sad, that's part of, you know, Venus is talking about relationships. So your focus might be on seeing who lights up your life and who brings you down, and adjusting accordingly to who you actively are welcoming into your space, your home, and your energetic space, even your mind, because even thinking about some of these people could drain your energy. It's like psychic attack. Protect your ideas, though. I feel like this is a confirmation for you if you've been having any doubt, self-doubt about a project or an idea that you've been interested in trying out. This is a confirmation, first of all, so you don't have to waste any mental energy around wondering if it's right or not, because it is. This is also a call to keep it to yourself, because there might be certain people in your life who are less than supportive of it, or even just being jealous of it, you know, and it can influence it, especially if you're sensitive. So keep your ideas to yourself, or maybe within like this partnership or the close circle. Maybe only share the ideas with the people who actually light you up, because that's like a clear sign of whether or not they are supportive of you energetically. Should I put it over here? Okay, so a few clarifiers. I pulled from the Skeletal Tarot that I created last year. If you like the artwork, I'll put the link in the description so you can buy it for yourself and use it. So we have the 9 and the 10 of Cups, and then the World card. So generally, I mean, it fell out like this, but I feel like it should be read like this. Especially since there were more reverse cards than not reverse cards, so I'm gonna flip it. So the 9 of Cups talks about wish fulfillment. It's like dreams coming true, things coming to fruition that light you up, that bring you joy, that fulfill you in a very deep and beautiful way. Then we have the 10 of Cups, which, having these two together, makes me feel like you're somebody who maybe has a lot of water in their chart. Like maybe you are somebody who is emotional, who has a lot of emotions. The 10 of Cups talks about complete fulfillment, like even a step up from the 9 of Cups that you also have. It can talk about spending time with family or soul family, having a bunch of soulmate relationships around to nurture you. You see there's people here all enjoying each other's company, having some wine, sitting in what looks like a hot tub. They're actually both in a tub too, so that might be another message for you if you're thinking about like, maybe you should get a hot tub. Maybe you should. Be in water. Being in water would be really good for you. Enjoy the good. Hey, so I just recorded the whole rest of this video, probably a whole nother half hour, and realized that my phone died once I got done. So a few little insights came during my little break that I'm assuming are relevant for that to have happened. First of all, you have the Venus card. We were talking about what that means, having to do with relationships, love, beauty, and harmony. I recalled on my little break while my phone was charging back up that my favorite astrologer, Achyuta Bhavadas, just did a video about how Venus is entering Gemini and what that means. And so I have a feeling that this may be having an effect on you. If you're watching this around when I'm recording it, which is the beginning to middle of May, this may be influencing you. So what does Venus moving into Gemini mean? It might mean that you are having urges that are taboo or potentially outside of your relationship. If you're in a relationship, like you might be interested in bringing in like a third person or experimenting that way. And so his advice to everyone was to wait a month until probably beginning to middle of June to see if that passes, if it's something that is just a passing yearning, or if it's something that would actually be good and healthy. So that being said, we will move on to the rest of your cards. Oh, I did want to say too, usually when something like this happens, I take into account what I feel like I have to do. So you may need to just let yourself sort of take a break from things, to rest and to recharge. And this childlike spirit and your companion are what will help you recharge, as well as your relationships as well. So make sure to keep your focus on that which fills you with life. So you have a few more cards here. So one of them says within the next few weeks, and one of them says unlikely. So I feel like this is in regards to this big idea that you have. And it again is kind of coming in as an astrological thing, which makes me feel like you again have a lot of water in your chart because you're sensitive to the changing of the planets into different signs. So the same astrologer I mentioned before, and I'll put the links to these videos in the description, but he recently made a video about Jupiter moving into Pisces, and it'll be going into Pisces for about a month before retrograding and being in Aquarius until next year. And then for almost all of 2022 it will be in Pisces. Jupiter in Pisces is very fertile. It is like the most beautiful, nutritious or nutrient rich soil for planting seeds and having them just burst forth. So you might see, in regards to this idea or this project, you might see it bloom within the next month. You might see it start to bloom, but then there will be sort of a lull in it for the next year until 2022. And then in 2022 is when it will really begin to blossom. So it's almost like a fruit tree. Like, you know, while it's still young, you still get the blossoms, you still get the leaves, but once it's mature enough, that's when you start to get the fruit. So don't expect the fruits of this labor to come in quite this year, but know that they will. Like, don't give up. I feel like that's also what that World card is talking about. Don't give up, and just know that something this big and beautiful takes time. Okay, so yes, you'll start to see some progress in the next few weeks, but it's unlikely that it'll come to full fruition until next year, is what I am getting from these cards. Okay, so you have one final card. It says pregnancy. The birth of a child brings great blessings to you in the world. So if you are pregnant or trying to get pregnant, this is a good sign for you. But this could also be the birth of an idea. And that's what I feel like this Protect Your Ideas is talking about. That you are like parenting this project or idea, and whatever it is actually for the greatest good. And that's why you don't have to worry about it not coming to fruition, or you know, you can let go of any doubts about it, because it is a blessing for the world, whatever this idea is. This very well could actually be a child, and this eternal child might be hinting that the child that you're giving birth to, maybe you have had them as your child for many lifetimes, since it says eternal child. And it might bring you closer with your partner, you know, or with your friends, or even, you know, your child will be that companion that is obviously loyal to you and loves you unconditionally. So if that's the storyline that is resonating most with you of pregnancy, the 10 of Cups card would then be pointing to spending more time with your family, and your family being as support for you, and the Nine of Cups, that maybe you've like wished for this for a really long time, and it's finally happening. So then you will either be, if the pregnancy relates to you as like an actual child, that might be within the next few weeks that you'll either be getting pregnant or giving birth. And if that's your story here, that you are hoping to get pregnant or are pregnant, with the protect your ideas, when it talks about protecting your energy, just make sure to during your pregnancy and once you finally have your child, make sure to spend time around people who feel good, because children are very sensitive, especially you know, when they're babies, and even when they're in the womb, they can feel everything. So make sure that the people that you're spending time around are the kind of people that you would want your child to be like, you know, someone like people that you would feel safe watching your child even, and yeah, people that feel loving and joyful and authentic. That's the kind of people that you want around during this time. Yeah, so I think that is all that I have for you. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy this beautiful Venusian time with your soulmates and your pleasure and abundance, and I hope to see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Hello group 6, and welcome to your reading. So, funny story, while I was recording the 5th reading, my phone actually died, and I lost all of your reading and most of theirs. So we're gonna start again the second time, and maybe I'll have even more insights to provide for you this time. So let's look at what archetype you're being called to embody for the greatest good. We have priest. It says that the priest facilitates spiritual commitments and serves as a channel of spiritual energy. So most of your focus is going to be on your spirituality, on your connection with the divine, on your experience of God, source, universe, what it means to you, what it feels like to be in communion with that energy, and the things that you need to do in order to feel that closeness with it. So we'll look at some of the other energies surrounding this. Your astrological card is Jupiter. So Jupiter is a benefic planet. It talks about rules, but the way I see it is it's more so like the universal laws. So like one that would come to mind is like do unto others as you would do unto yourself. You know, I feel like that's sort of the realm of what you'll be experimenting with. The hermetic laws even of vibration and frequency and polarity, learning about these subtle laws of the universe that actually control everything and can help you expand, because Jupiter is also about expansion. It says learn or teach, be positive, grow and expand, oh goodness, sorry, the granting of something, blessings and good fortune. So Jupiter is actually moving through a transit right now. I'll post a link to my favorite astrologer's conversation about it in the description box. Jupiter is moving into Pisces and will be there for the next month before going retrograde and being in Aquarius until 2022. And then in 2022, it'll be in Pisces all year, basically all year. So what does Jupiter in Pisces mean? Jupiter in Pisces, according to this astrologer who's also a monk and a bhakti yogi. So if you are tapping into your spirituality, I would highly recommend listening to his videos because he calls them Sermon from the Stars, and he is just one of my favorite spiritual teachers. He's very pleasant to listen to, very kind and funny, and I think he would definitely contribute to your path if you are embarking on it or hoping to expand it, you know, with Jupiter expansion. So anyway, Jupiter in Pisces is like the fertile ground that allows for a fertile, abundant harvest. We're getting it for about a month, so the work that you do now will be extremely fruitful and will take a lot less effort than it has and than it will for the next 9 or 10 months. So watch this video, you can learn more about it. I'm not going to talk too much about it right now, but the next month will be a really great time for you to grow and expand your understanding of the universe, of God, of spirituality, whatever that looks like for you. And you can experience really good fortune around it too. The more that you tap into it, the more blessings that will come about in your life. So we are going to look at your next set of cards. This is the Artist's Block Oracle. My friend Ashton made it, and it's so beautiful. It's 15 years of her artwork compiled into a deck. So I'm going to read these to you, and then we'll form a story out of them. Your first card is Manifest. Treat each thought you have, whether good or bad, as a wish upon a star. This is manifesting. These non-physical thoughts are points of attraction which become solid the moment we think them. Yeah, so that would have to do again with the Hermetic laws. If you haven't heard of them, I would look into them. It's basically like quantum physics before quantum physics was like an actual studied thing. Next you have confidence. It says, feelings of vulnerability surround you. This can be beautiful, but also put you in a defensive mode to all you crave, not letting offers in. See yourself as lovable. Yeah, so we'll talk more about this. If I'm remembering your cards right, that card has a really important meaning for you. So, motives. Get clear on your motivations or intentions for success. Pull a card to clarify what issue motivates your art. What else may you be missing? Okay, and so this will be that card then. Gratitude. Find gratitude in simple things. Shower gratitude to those who helped you to get where you are now. Yeah, so that might be what you're missing then, as that was the final question. You're missing the gratitude. Okay, and finally it says it is finished. We've all said, I'm not finished, just one more stroke. Well, with each new day, you can create a new phase. Let this one be finished. So you are wrapping up a phase in your life and moving into this new phase. And I think that your spirituality is a trigger here. Your growing spirituality, even if you're just dipping your toe in the water, it is going to be life-changing. So anything that you feel like you're wrapping up that has sort of plateaued, this is just a confirmation for you that it's finished. So in regard to these cards, one of the best ways to manifest, especially as you're just starting to consciously create, is through gratitude, noticing the blessings, writing them down. I have a little journal where I'll write letters to the universe, God, source, just thanking it for all of the things in my life that are beautiful. And you don't have to even ask for more. You can even say thank you for things that you maybe feel a little bit that maybe aren't quite there yet, that you wish for them to expand, and that will have the Jupiterian influence of growing them. The gratitude is what grows things. Gratitude and love. This will also help you feel more confident in your ability to manifest. And then also, if you're on this path, this spiritual path, since you have the motives card and manifest, I wanted to share a little mantra or prayer that is my favorite, so much so that I have it on my arm and painted on the wall behind me. It goes, Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. And what that means is, may all beings everywhere be joyful and free, and may my words, thoughts, and actions contribute to that freedom and happiness, now and always, for the greatest good of all beings everywhere. So be it. So you can include that or something like that in your prayers. Maybe you can find that mantra on Spotify or YouTube, Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. And even just listening to it will bring it in. It'll ensure that what you're creating is out of love and not ego. Because especially if we're just starting to manifest and getting our legs under us, we can manifest from darkness as well. As we're just starting on our spiritual path, we haven't burnt away those darker desires yet. And maybe they'll be there for a lot of our life too, but I just find that prayer is really helpful to ensure that your true intention is to serve the greatest good as a spiritual vessel for love and God, source, energy here on earth. Okay, so we're gonna move on to your next set of cards. These are from the tarot deck that I created last year called the Skeletal Tarot. If you like the cards, I'll put the link in the description for their Etsy link. So I'm going to put them in the order I put them out last time because it ended up making a lot of pretty good sense. So your first card is the Prince of Wands. Your next card is the Seven of Swords. Your next card is the King of Wands reversed. The Eight of Swords. The Fool reversed. And the Queen of Swords. So the first thing I notice when I see these cards is that you have the Seven of Swords and the Eight of Swords. The Seven of Swords talks about a facade, not being true, a fake person, somebody who hides aspects of themselves, that hides who they really are, how they really feel. And the Eight of Swords is about feeling stuck. Even the word bondage comes up, feeling like we're trapped in a box, trapped in a relationship, trapped in a perspective, trapped in a body even that maybe isn't a body that you want to be in. Again, it's different for everybody. But what I see here is that you're hiding parts of yourself. And as I've looked at these cards, I feel like what you're hiding is this part of you that does see things in a more spiritual way. Why do I think that you're hiding things that are the way that you feel you perceive is because here at the bottom we have the Queen of Swords and the Fool in reverse. The Queen of Swords is somebody who's very cold, logical, unyielding, scientific, unemotional. And the Fool is one of my favorite cards, actually. It talks about having faith, taking the leap, trusting, and even like having a childlike trust in the universe, and it's in reversed. So what I feel like this is talking about is the Queen of Swords may be an aspect of yourself, maybe your inner critic, and it could be somebody outside of yourself, potentially like a mother or a female figure in your life who feels like this priest energy, the spiritual energy, is a bunch of mumbo jumbo, and that if it can't be proven, if it's not logical, then it's not real. And so they may think that you're foolish, since we have the Fool card in reversed. And you can see in this illustration, it's like she's pointing at the board like, see, math, numbers, like this is what's real. You know, that God that you talk about is just a bunch of phooey. And she almost kind of looks mean about it. She's like, no, like, you can't believe that. That's foolish. And so this might be a struggle that you're facing, or maybe have been facing for quite a while, that you hide that part of yourself because you've been told that if you believe that you're foolish, that you know, people won't respect you, that you know, people won't believe you because you believe in something that is proven. It can be proven with math and science, I feel, increasingly so, but it's mostly proven through experience. As Terence McKenna would say, magic, which I believe God is magic, is only proven through stories and anecdotes of experiences, stories of miracles, the stories of saints. I guess for Terence, stories of psychedelic trips. Ram Dass too shares all of his God stories. All his talks are God stories that are anecdotal. Ram Dass would be a beautiful one to listen to too if you're expanding on your spiritual path. I just love him so much. So anyway, the Prince of Wands is right next to this Seven of Swords, and so I feel like with this Knight of Wands is standing at the bar in this deck that I created. I feel like you might be somebody who goes out and like parties or uses drugs or drinks or does whatever to sort of numb out what you're truly feeling, to relax that spiritual part of yourself that sometimes struggles to communicate with people or to be personable with people. It like opens you up. But it's also a mask when you do that. It's not your true self. It's just putting on a happy face for people instead of going within and acknowledging what's there. I feel like this is keeping you stuck in this Knight energy when you could be this King energy. Though the King of Wands showed up in reverse, this is your potential. Once you can free yourself, be true to yourself, unmask yourself, and lean into that faith instead of maybe pushing it away or feeling like you're foolish if you're being true to yourself. Another really cool connection with this card, since it came up in reverse, this is the second card in these readings today that has had this connection where the roots are in the sky. So it's like where you come from is what, you know, the Christians would call heaven. You are from this spiritual place that is loving and light, and that's why you know deep down that this is true, that what you believe to be true is true, because before you were in this body this time around, you experienced it, you know it, you've been one with it. You may have had lifetimes before where you embodied this priest energy. So you know it to be true on a deep level, on a deep personal level. So you have these roots in the sky where you are finding your nourishment from spirit, or finding your nourishment from God, and then using it to channel that energy into the earth to heal the collective energy, to heal your neighbors, to heal your family, to heal your ancestors, to heal your friends. That's the work that I see here. It's really beautiful. And this really corresponds with this priest energy that says facilitates spiritual commitments, serves as a channel of spiritual energy. Yeah, so I hope that you can have the confidence in yourself and your convictions and enough value for yourself to follow your own path without being forced or pressured into doing something you don't want to do just because that's what will give you the love and acceptance. Because once you allow yourself to embody who you really are, to have your faith, that inner critic or that person will soften, and it might take time, but as long as you are loving and humble and true, that's all that matters. If you have a practice of prayer, you can use that to uplift any people who feel like they are wanting to prevent you from this path, and that will help soften any blows and maybe even let them come around to accepting you. But the more that you take off this mask and allow yourself to get unstuck, flip those, right? I'm gonna flip them for you because we're making that decision now. The more that you can have faith and embody this fully empowered version of yourself that is a spiritual channel. And when you do that, then you'll also attract more people like that, and you will no longer have to be putting on this facade where you have to get drunk or use drugs or put on whatever fake persona that makes you, cool enough to talk to people, or that gives you the confidence, since you have the confidence card here, see, to speak to people and to socialize. So when you let go of those false tendencies, then this whole new world will open up to you that is so much more centered around what you truly love and truly centered around your spiritual path here. You'll attract so many like-minded people that you didn't even know existed. So we have a few more cards for you here. Look for a sign and the situation will improve. Yeah, so just trust. At first it might be a little bit rocky if you have relationships that people are not accepting of your truth, but just give it a little bit of time and that will turn around. Look for a sign. This could be, you're embarking on this path, right? And it's almost like the Fool is like, all right, I could go the lunar path or I could go the solar path. Give me a sign so I know which one to take. There are these really great spiritual books you might be interested in too. It's the Celestine Prophecy. I think it's just a trilogy. So I read Celestine Prophecy, The 10th Insight, and The Secret of Shambhala are the 3 books. And it talks about how when you're on a path and you're trying to decide which way to go, get really still, notice the beauty around you, come to your breath, come to the present moment, and then just let yourself naturally feel which path feels better, which path looks more brilliant, more shimmering, more bright, and know that that is the path for you to choose. So I just want to throw that in there. Look for a sign. You are definitely connecting with your spirituality, and as far as your manifestations go, since that's where I set it down, look for signs. Follow the signs if you are hoping to manifest something. If you're walking and you see a really beautiful dog or something and you want to follow the dog, or if you I don't know, see like your favorite bird or something. I don't know. It'll be personal, and you can ask for something very precise, you know, like you go for a walk hoping to come across something specific, and you say, okay, show me somebody wearing a jogger like tracksuit, and I'll follow them and it'll lead me there. Or you know, interesting cloud forms, or you know, whatever it is, in your communication with God, with the universe, you can make that clear. But make that intention when you're going out into the world, that you be given a sign, if you're still wondering about something. Then we have a few more cards for you. This one feels like the crown of it all. It says, be yourself. The situation calls for you to be your authentic self, which is the basis for your personal power. Yeah, be yourself. Even if this Queen of Wands isn't going to accept you and you feel like you're not going to be worthy of love, you need to do it anyway, because you are worthy of love, and they'll come around. They'll come around, even if it's your inner critic. It'll come around too. So this is really funny too. So my family's full of scientists, and I am not a scientist. And they don't even call me the black sheep of the family. They call me the unicorn of the family. So I totally feel this vibe right now, and I'm with you there. And just know that, you know, just be kind, be humble, be loving, and people will come around. Be you. Be true to yourself. That's all that matters. And people who really love you will show up still. So I'm actually gonna put this over here. Then you have assertiveness. Stand up for your beliefs and only say yes if you really want to. Stay true to your beliefs and only say yes if you want to. Your next card says, let go. As you surrender the need to control, your relaxed energy rapidly attracts your desires. Yeah, so you don't need to convince anybody either. You don't need to explain yourself. Just do it, do your thing, and just trust and release any expectations. Also, since you had the card, it is finished. There might be something that you're holding on to that has expired, and it's time to just let it go, and that'll welcome in more blessings and more of these manifestations that you are beckoning in. And then finally, you have dietary change. Improve your diet and your life will also improve. And get some exercise. As your body becomes stronger, you'll begin to feel stronger in all ways. Yeah, so this reminds me of, again, this Prince of Wands card. You might be changing, like if you've been drinking, that might be a trigger that'll help you connect deeper with your spirituality. If you stop drinking, you might be changing, like maybe changing to more of a plant-based diet, eating less meat. If you're already vegetarian, maybe you are eating less animal products in general, moving more towards being vegan. Maybe you are excluding foods that you're allergic to. You know, maybe you've been like gluten or lactose intolerant, and you're finally taking notice of that and choosing to remove it, and that'll help your connection be stronger and help your health be stronger, help you feel more alive and full of energy. And with this Get Exercise card, as your body becomes stronger, you begin to feel stronger in all ways. That is so absolutely true, especially if you're lacking confidence. Bringing strength into your core will give you more conviction, more assertiveness, more confidence, more motivation, and more ability to manifest. So that is all here, and so that's why I feel like that could be really important for you, especially core work. So doing push-ups, crunches. For me, yoga was a really big one. That was a huge trigger on my spiritual path because it's meditation and it strengthens your core and your whole body. So not only do you feel centered from doing each movement with your breath and coming out of your thoughts that way, but you also feel a lot stronger, because you are using all these muscles in your body that have never been used before, and you feel lighter. So that could be good for you to try if you've never tried yoga. If you have and you like it, maybe it's time to get back into that practice. Otherwise, this could just be a sign for you to go for a walk or a run, lift some weights, play sports, go hiking, rock climbing, biking, whatever it is for you, whatever resonates with you. You can maybe try a few things too and just see what feels best. But there are a few lifestyle changes that are taking place that'll allow you greater access to your connection with spirit, your ability to serve as a channel of spiritual energy, as well as your ability to manifest and feel confident about your manifestations, confident about your beliefs, and confident just about yourself in general and your life path. So this is really beautiful. Your reading has really moved me a lot. Sorry if I'm not showing it. I was probably a lot more moved the first time that I read it, but I just got kind of tired. This work can be exhausting after so many hours. So I did want to let you know I would love to hear about your experience, either in the comments or message, and so much so, I've never done this before, but I would love to offer you a free reading even, because there's a lot here and it feels like there's even more for you to know that I just don't have it in me to read right now. But if you listen to this and it feels like this is definitely your reading and you really needed to hear this, I'll put my website in the description. There's a contact me link on my website. Just shoot me a message. Let me know, that you watched this video, that you chose the 6th one, and that you'd like to cash in that free reading, and I would actually love to do that for you. And again, I'd love to hear about what's going on if this is resonating with you. So thank you so much for watching, and please enjoy this spiritual path. It feels very powerful. It feels like a huge transitional and transformational time for you, and I am so excited for you and your path, and I wish you so much love, so much connection, so much love, so much connection, and so much healing. You are worthy. You are worthy of love. You are worthy of respect, and you are worthy of kindness. Thank you so much for watching. Happy new moon, and I hope to hear from you, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.